Hi, I'm the Malt activist, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the Kilchoman Sanaig. Now, this is the latest addition to the Kilchoman core range. It joins Loch Gorm and Machir Bay. I was quite interested in tasting this one because it's quite a departure from the other two. Loch Gorm is 100% ex-sherry casks between 3, 4, 5-year-old spirit. Machir Bay is essentially a bourbon cask, but finished off for about 8 weeks in ex-Oloroso sherry. This particular one has a lot more sherry influence than Machir Bay, so it sort of sits right in between Loch Gorm and Machir Bay. This, as you see on the cover, is roughly 25% bourbon and 75% sherry. So I'm going to assume it's about a 4 to 5-year-old spirit that's been vatted together. Now, I read somewhere that this was actually an experiment for the French market because someone complained that Machir Bay wasn't sweet enough. So apparently this is supposed to take care of that problem. This has about 75% sherry and so definitely a much more sweeter whiskey. I don't know that for a fact, but luckily for me, I'm meeting Anthony Wills, the owner of Kilchoman, this weekend in Isla. I've managed to secure an interview with him for my documentary, so I'm going to clarify that fact with him. Now onto the whiskey itself. I'm super excited about trying this. Every time there's a new release from Kilchoman, I want to get my hands on it and give it a shot. I'm a huge fan, though it wasn't always the case. The first time I tried a Kilchoman was about 5 years ago when I met Anthony Wills. He had come down with 4 or 5 expressions and we had a tasting. And for some reason, the whiskeys that I tasted that day really weren't that good. So I swore to stay off Kilchoman for an indefinite amount of time until one day at a friend's house, there was a single cask ex-Oloroso sherry sitting there, which was absolutely fantastic, blew me away. And so I lifted that unnecessary Kilchoman ban and became a really, really big fan of these whiskeys. Most of their spirit is matured between 4 and 5 years old. I think the oldest spirit they've bottled is about 7 years old, which they released last festival. I didn't like that. It had a bitter taste to it, but I guess you could get some wrong sometime, but that's fine. Let's see what this one is all about. Now, I've tried this before, and I'll tell you whether I liked it or not. But here are my first impressions. It's definitely sweet, so they've got that working for them. Like a Demerara sugar, very light honey. The peat is milder as compared to the other Kilchomans. But this has a lot more waxiness to it. It's almost as if the wax is sitting on top of the spirit, not letting all the flavors escape. That's the best way I can describe it. It has fruits, green papaya, touch of soot, ash, a little nutty. Dried yellow fruits I get, like mango, jackfruit, turmeric maybe. There's peppers, there's a little bit of vanilla, some coconut, caramel. I'll tell you, when I first tried this, I didn't like the nose as much, but for some reason today, not bad. So maybe it needs a little time opening up, sitting in the bottle. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to give this another 20 minutes. Hi, I'm back. It's been 20 minutes and it's changed a little bit. It's opened up. It's become a lot more fruity, a lot more sweeter. Even the peat's a little more pronounced. So I guess it just needs a little more time to sit. But I'll be honest, I actually prefer the nose of the other two compared to this, Loch Gorm and Machir Bay. Those are just almost exquisite noses. Remind me of old school art bags, just good quality distillate, good quality casks. perfect maturation conditions, just really, really high quality stuff. I'm missing that in here. Not to say I don't like it, but there's just a different kind of complexity in those two, and which I find missing in this. Look, I think the nose is decent enough. I expect Kilchoman to blow me away. Doesn't have to happen every time. So be it. Okay. Funnily enough, it's not as sweet as I thought it would be, given that's what they were trying to do, so that's strange. It's quite oaky and dry. A little bit of fruit. I get that same waxiness that I got on the nose. The peat smoke is there. There's a hint of chocolate, a hint of coconut. There's white sugar, demerara sugar maybe, and some kind of flowery drink. So it's not a typical Kilchoman whiskey. This a little confusing for me. I don't know if I really like it. Probably average at best for me. The finish is short, drying, a little bit of oak. Not that great, to be honest. Again, not to say that this is a bad whiskey. I think this is probably one of those that sort of get you into whiskey or peated whiskeys, if you like. It's not overly complex. I don't know if they were going for that. If they weren't, then that's too bad. If they were, then I guess they succeeded. There's been mixed reviews about this all over the world. I read some reviews before coming in. There's some who really like it, some who don't. I think I'm kind of indifferent. I don't know if that's a good thing for a whiskey. But one thing is for sure, regardless of my opinion on this particular whiskey, Kilchoman is just one of the most fantastically new, brilliant whiskeys, distilleries to come out of Scotland. I was sat with Peter Wills, Anthony's son, who was down here for a tasting, and I sat with him over drinks one evening. And some of the stories he told me about running the distillery and the mishaps and the adventures they've had, it's a testament to what being determined can eventually lead you to. And now to see Kilchoman, it's such a respected name in the industry, given that it's only 10 years old. So mad props to that. Sure, sometimes you have good whiskeys that come out of your warehouse, and sometimes you don't. You can't hit it out of the park every time. And to me, that just shows that those guys are human. So here's a tip of my hat to Kilchoman and what they've achieved so far. I wish I'd really liked this whiskey, but I don't. But that's okay. I know many people who will, and that's a good thing. So when they come over, I can serve it to them. That's all for now. Don't forget to check out maltactivist.com and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm off to Islay in about 3 days' time for the Islay Whiskey Festival. So keep a lookout for my Instagram and Facebook page where I'll be posting daily updates on my whiskey adventures in Islay. Really looking forward to that. Oh, and by the way, I got t-shirts done. I'll see you next time.